Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
My learnings from the subject Socsci 1 is numerous. We all know that art is everything and anything. Today, there are no objective standards as to what or what is not an art. Moreover, I have gained so much knowledge in form, style, and art practices in contemporary art. The categories of art are fine arts, popular arts, and crafts. So first, fine arts is to be appreciated. It requires a level of refinement in the part of the audience. Next is popular arts, are product of popular culture which are appeal to broad mass audiences. And lastly, crafts refers to specific media including ceramics, jewelry, weaving, and woodworking. There's also medium-based classification of art forms. First is visual arts. It is works created primarily for visual perception and classified as two-dimensional arts or three-dimensional arts. Example of it is sculptures or paintings and drawings. Next is architecture. It is a man-made environment created as a space for human habitation and as a setting for rituals. Example for it is buildings or hotels. Next is music. It is sound, silence organized based on time. There's a lot more things that I have learned from this subject, but sadly, my time is limited. Thank you for watching and have a great day.
In social science, I've learned what art is, what features it possesses, and how to criticize it. Art is a means through which we can express our thoughts, feelings, and experiences. It has work of art classification and categories. Art is divided into three categories: expressive arts, well-known expression, and artworks. Compositions, models, and pieces of music are examples of expressive arts. Pop art is a type of art that influenced by today's mainstream society and widespread communication. Pottery, glass, jewels, weaving, and woodwork are all mentioned explicitly in the artworks. When it comes to craft, the native of the Philippines are known for their weaving and instrument-making skills. Compositions, modularly I learned about workmanship analysis, reacting to interpreting the significance of and making the basic judgments about the explicit masterpieces is what art analysis is all about. It aids the viewers in recognizing and deciphering and judging works of art.
Hi, I am Julian Andresagon from STEM H-12, and this is what I learned in the subject Socsci 1. The subject is contemporary arts, and we talk about its forms, styles, and practices, and many more of its elements. We study its definitions and its kinds. There are many kinds of arts: the visual arts, architecture, photography, and more. Our instructor also shared some local architecture here in Cebu, like Lapu-Lapu Shrine and the Basilica of Señor Santo Niño. We also reminisce the art in the past by discussing the neorealism in art and sculpture, also photorealism and hyperrealism, and social realism. We also tackled about the past contemporary Philippine architecture. And that's all. Thank you.
So, what I have learned about Social Science 1. First of all, Social Science 1 is all about contemporary art, including on its style, practices, form, places, artists, and so much more about contemporary art. So, I have learned what art is. From its simple definition, art is the expression or application of human creative skills and imagination, typically in a visual form such as painting or sculpture, producing works to be appreciated primarily for their beauty or emotional power. And talking about contemporary art, it is the art of today, produced in the second half of the 20th century or in the 21st century. Their art is a dynamic combination of materials, methods, concepts, and subjects that continue the challenging of boundaries that was already well underway in the 20th century. So, contemporary art started in the 1950s up until on the present time. So, I have learned so much about contemporary art, the art of today that produced by artists who are living in our time. The importance of this subject is it provides opportunities to reflect on society and the issues that are important to us and the world. It is part of a cultural dialogue that concerns larger contextual frameworks such as identity, family, community, and nationality.
I actually learned quite a lot from this subject. One of the topics that this subject got me into is contemporary arts and how creative and wild people's minds are. This subject taught me the definition of art and its nature, its history, its characteristics, and different styles and approach to modern era. It also taught me that art isn't always found in museums, but can also be found anywhere. And it also taught me that people these days, in this generation, can be artists. It also showed us how art changes over time and how art evolves and grows as time passes by. Not only did this subject taught me the meaning behind art, it also taught me art criticism and how art should be criticized in the right way. Also how critiquing an art works and the different groups who write critically about art. This subject also gave us the different philosophical views or positions in critiquing an art. It gave us the whole process of how critiquing works and how there are different interpretations of a single art. With this, it helped me understood the full meaning behind those beautiful artworks we see everywhere and its values. It also made me appreciate art more than before and made me realize how thoughtful these artists are.
Good day everyone, so I'm Yvonne Timon and I'm going to share my knowledge and what I've learned in my whole Socsci 1 or my whole contemporary arts journey. So the subject itself, named contemporary arts, we dealt with a different type of arts in different places in Western and how arts is defined in different places, in different continents, in different countries, as they have their own crafts, they have their own indigenous peoples. Like here in the Philippines, we have different arts like the Spulario, Juan Luna, and we have also different sculptures, as we Filipinos believe, most of us are Christians. Because of our different religions, we have many sculptures here and also in other countries, as they believe in Buddhism and stuff, and we, most of us Filipinos, are Catholic, so we have different, we call it ribulto here. And we don't forget about the different type of music in different places, in different countries. Like here in Asia, we mostly dealt music like Kling and music of tribes, music of different indigenous people, and most of the Hispanic countries, they have this bubbly music.
So as what I have learned from the subject Social Science 1, so aside sa yung forms, styles, nature sa yung art, characteristics, and all, kay news na siya para na ako, kay wala man may contemporary art or art before na kanang subject ng junior high school ko or pag grade 11. So aside ana, I have also learned that art is not boring. Kanang it's a wonderful, interesting, and fun thing to do, jud kay kanang it will shape you to become a more creative and more creative and so artistic po di ay. So ako na pagkatao di ko artistic and kanang before into arts di ko pero di ko kahibalo di ko great ana when it comes to kanang mag-drawing pero kahibaw ko mag-paint and pero di lang jud kaayo ingon jud kay na makahibalo mo paint pero kanina subject kay murag mas na interested ko sa art kanang murag gusto ko mo balik og painting kay ni stop magud ko pag junior high school na ko kay mas ni focus na ko sa academics so mao to siya kanang nice jud kayo siya na subject since kanang pwede po siya nimo mahimog hobby like maghimo kog artworks, paintings, sketch, drawings and all.
Hello, this is Ed Hennesson. So I'm going to share what I learned in my Socsci class. I learned a lot of things in this class, but what I like the most is contemporary arts. It is interesting for me even though I do not like art that much. Why does contemporary art interest me? Contemporary is not a style or movement. Contemporary means living or occurring at the same time. When used in art, contemporary refers to any art, no matter what style is used, that has been created during reference point in time. Usually, that reference point is either the speaker's or the audience's life, but sometimes specific reference point is provided. So, for example, Leonardo da Vinci started painting the Mona Lisa between 1503 and 1506. That makes the Mona Lisa contemporary art not to us but to Christopher Columbus, because Leonardo started to paint the Mona Lisa when Columbus was still alive. So, example ni Mona Lisa. I think modern art is a representation of common people feelings and their way to have a relation in contemporary world. Appreciating modern art is understanding the intentions behind those masterpieces. Like what is the story behind the art and be able to explain the art in their own perspective. So, mao nang ganahan kog arts kay lahi-lahi lahing meaning sa nagpaint, lahi sa meaning sa nagtan-aw. Pero depende ra jud nimo kung saan mo pagtan-aw sa art kung sa imong hunahunaan mo ron jud mo imagine so mo na akong ganahan sa all about art. So thank you for listening.